Hi, everyone. It's Miss Olson and one or two of my friends here today. We are going to read another chapter out of Hooper Finds a Family. This sweet baby here is Spot, and the one that came off screen, that's Sugar. They're both sisters. They like to play and fight and fuss. Biscuit's down here, so if you've seen me read before and you go, wait, where's Biscuit? Biscuit is on the floor playing around. All right, well, let's get started reading chapter 21, Another Storm. I wonder what this is going to be about. Well, let's read and find out. I'm so happy I could wag my tail fast enough to fly as we walk back from my first date ever. Jane promises that Willow and I will have more dates. Side note, Willow is one of Sky's sisters. So we've seen her before in the film. So go back to chapter 19 if you want to see who Sky is. Well, let's keep reading. Not even Big Larry can take my joy away from me, but he doesn't try. That evening he ignores me, which is fine. Brian has a lot of homework, but he watches the game on TV with the sound off. I curl up on the bed and dream about my next date with Sky. Actually, with Willow. Willow is Sky's sister. After a while, I start dreaming about a big roast beef bone instead. I slip off Brian's bed and I head toward the kitchen. Larry is still trying to fix a faucet. Jane is leaning on the counter next to him and handing him tools. I don't think they notice me. I stick my nose in my bowl. Empty. No juicy roast beef bone. Rats! I drink a little water instead. I hear Jane say my name, and then Larry grumbles something. I didn't catch the beginning of it, but it ends with, can't even bark. He's just a puppy, Jane says softly. Larry grunts. I know you miss Hammer. I do too. Larry doesn't say anything. Brian was ready for a new dog, Larry, and all those dogs lost their home. We did a good thing. Larry picks up a wrench and puts it down again. Jane's voice is very soft. Open your heart a little. And she hands him the right wrench. Larry doesn't say anything, and for some reason, I don't want to let them know I've been listening. I slip out as quietly as I can, trying not to let my toenails click on the floor. It begins to drizzle while Brian is working on his homework. Jane and I go out for a really quick walk, which is fine by me. I still hate getting even a little damp. There's no way I could forget the storm in Lake Charles. Jane turns out the light in their room, and Brian and I decide to watch a little nighttime television. Soon there is a lot of snoring coming from the direction of Jane and Larry's bed. Then I realize there's another noise. It's a snore farther in the distance, or so I think at first. Maybe it's other Larry snoring next door, or Wilbur. But this snoring isn't snoring. It's rumbling I've heard before. It's the sound of thunder. I jump off the bed in search of a hiding place. I stay low to the ground. Relax, Hooper, it's just rain, Brian assures me. Just rain? If you'd seen what I've seen, you'd know better. There's no such thing as just rain. I dive under the bed, but I can hear the rumble and crackles getting closer. Soon they'll be on top of us. No, not again. Brian peers under the bed. It's okay. Come on out. It's not okay. Believe me, I know. The television goes black and the hall light turns off. At first, Brian thinks it's the remote that goes goes over to the set to turn the TV back on. He tosses the remote on the floor and pulls up the shade to look out the window. Crud! We have a power failure. There's a flash of lightning. The storm is on our roof. I start to pant. Brian reaches down and pulls me out and lifts me onto the bed. We snuggle under his Yankee blanket. Crack! Crash! That bang sounds like it's right outside this room. It's nearly as loud as the one that exploded the old cypress tree in Mama's yard. I lurch from Brian's arms and trip off the bed, hitting my head on the floor and knocking over a pile of books in the process. I race into the bathroom as fast as I can. I don't know why I picked the bathroom. I just find myself in there, and I jump in the tub and I hide under the shower curtain. That way, I can't see the storm and it can't see me. Brian runs into the bathroom and sits on the edge of the tub. Close the curtain! Hooper, it's okay. You're safe here. The storm can't get inside. Oh, yes, it can. Brian rubs my head and whispers over and over, don't worry, you're safe with me. The thunder explodes, and even though the bathroom has no windows, I can see the lightning turning Brian's room from night to day. Hooper, this is New York City. We don't have storms that knock over buildings. The house is solid stone. It was built over 100 years ago. We're not on the Gulf. We're on a river. That's a half a mile from here. Leave me alone. You have no idea what you're talking about. I turn away from him. Hooper, I would never let anything bad happen to you. I swear. I know you're trying to help, but it won't work. Shh. Listen. It's already passing through. It is getting quieter, but sometimes storms try and trick you. I remember how it got quieter and peaceful last time, and I was sure I'd be back home soon. And then it started right up again. But this storm isn't tricky like that. We wait right here in the tub until the only sound we hear is the distant whimper of rain. I was scared, but now I'm getting mad. In fact, the storm makes me furious. After all the struggles I've been through, I'm not going to put up with this anymore. No storm has the right to do this to me. Brian isn't afraid. Larry is still snoring, and the storm didn't even wake him up. Hey, I don't have to be hiding anymore. Hear me? And right then and there, I let go a great big bark. Jane and Larry came flying into the bathroom. Brian is thrilled. Mom, Dad, Hooper can bark. And then something happens that I wasn't expecting at all. Larry says, Attaboy. You tell that storm what you think of it. And I barked again, good and loud. Now, I can't say for sure whether my bark did it or not, but the hall light pops back on and the television too. Nobody gets mad that Brian and I were watching the television, just the opposite. Everyone goes back to bed smiling. I must have given the storm a shock. The next morning, the sun is shining. Boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed reading chapter 21 as much as I did. I wonder if you have anything that you're kind of scared about. What did you notice Hooper did in response to the storm? All right, Bison, keep being Bison strong. See you soon.